Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Now, have you ever thought about buying a property on the island of love? That's Cyprus, perhaps in Paphos, perhaps in Limassol, perhaps in Pataras, perhaps in Ayia Napa, or perhaps somewhere else on the island of love, which of course is Cyprus. It could be a fantastic idea and it could be a great investment opportunity, or it could be a terrible idea and it could end in tears. It could be catastrophic. Why is that, I hear you ask? Well, there are one or two things that you've got to look out for, shall we say. It doesn't matter wherever you buy a property anywhere in the world, there are always little things that you must look out for. In particular, are you going to get the correct deeds, title deeds as they're called in Cyprus? Are you going to get an impartial lawyer? Yes, these are some of the pitfalls when you come to decide to buy a property, wherever it is in the world, and of course in Cyprus. So this little video is to help you and to guide you to finding that dream home. Could be an apartment, could be a townhouse, could be that multi-million euro villa with a spectacality of the view indeed, straight out into the blue Mediterranean Sea. The weather in Cyprus is one of the main reasons why people come to the island of love and why a lot of people decide to buy a holiday home in Cyprus. And a lot of people buy a home as their forever home because they come to relocate and to live in Cyprus. So, some of the pitfalls. If you go hunting around the internet, you will hear the topic of title deeds. Now, you can buy a property without title deeds, but it's probably not a very good idea. The property will be a lot cheaper, but I think we understand if you haven't got deeds, there could be a problem with the ownership, or perhaps when you want to sell it that little bit later. So, always make sure that you buy a property that has already been issued its title deeds. Not that their title deeds are in the post, the title deeds have already been issued. At least then, there is a clear path to your ownership of that property. Why are we talking about this? Well, the little channel known as Marika and Me, that's the channel you're watching. You can pop into the Marika and Me bar on the most famous street in the world, which of course is Bar Street in downtown Paphos, just set back from the Paphos promenade, and you could come and sit with Mr. Paul and we can introduce you to an impartial lawyer, a lawyer that will work on your behalf and perhaps not the seller's behalf or perhaps the developer's behalf. A lawyer that will make sure that those title deeds have been issued and those title deeds don't have any, shall we say, encumbrances on them. No taxes are due and those kind of things. So it's very, very important for you to get an unbiased lawyer. That's one of the most important things. Don't go with a lawyer that is recommended by the seller of the property or in many cases the developer of the property. Now, I'm not saying that anything untoward will happen. What we're saying is it could happen. So you've not got to go with those lawyers. Obviously, you can choose to do whatever you wish. You haven't got to listen to me. But logic says that you will go with an unbiased lawyer, a lawyer that is not connected to the property that you're about to purchase, whether it be from a private individual, a company, or a developer. So remember those words. Please, please, whenever you go to buy a property in Cyprus or anywhere else in the world, go and do your homework and get an unbiased lawyer and agree the costs up front, what percentage they're going to require and what documentation you are going to require, and establish the fees right at the start. Now, we know that they'll come up with a figure and probably there'll be a little bit of paperwork. There'll be the odd fee here and the odd fee there. We understand that. That's the same anywhere in the world. But agree that upfront figure. And if you want more advice and more help, come and see myself at the Marika and Me bar and we can recommend you that perfect lawyer. You can go and have a chat with him or her and then you can make your own decision. whether you think that that lawyer is the lawyer for you. Don't do it in the dark, as we would say in English. So please, please listen to me very carefully. If you are considering to buy a property, that perfect apartment, that townhouse, that spectacular villa, have a look at it, decide that that's the one for you, and then walk away and go and get yourself a lawyer with your interest at heart, a lawyer that's going to help you to get that property of your dreams, whether it's a holiday home, whether it's an investment home, or whether it's for that forever, ever home. So, word of warning, I keep repeating it over and over again, and many people around the world will tell you this: wherever you're buying a property, either go to a lawyer that you've already used, a lawyer that you know, a lawyer that you trust, or go and get a lawyer that's recommended to you, but not by the property seller and not by the property developer. Otherwise, it could go very, very wrong indeed, and you could lose all of your money, and your dream becomes a nightmare. So I'm not trying to scare anyone, I'm just trying to tell you the home truths of wherever you buy a property, anywhere in the world, whether it be Cyprus, the UK, France, Germany. It's the same laws and the same rules apply. Get a lawyer that you've been recommended to by a friend, not a developer and not the person that is selling you the property. It makes common sense, doesn't it? Yeah. So these are some of the services that we can offer you. You can come and see us. We can be totally transparent and explain to you the costs involved and the process involved with buying that perfect property. We can also help you with many, many other services if you are coming to live in Cyprus. If you want help with your immigration, guess what? We've got a lawyer that's working on your side and our side to make sure that your pathway to the Paphos, anywhere in Cyprus in particular, can go very, very smoothly indeed. Now, can I ask you for a little favour? Can I ask you hit the like and the subscribe button on this little channel known as YouTube, Marika and Me. Doesn't cost you a single penny, it just tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and then hopefully they will recommend this channel to more like-minded people, more clever people like yourselves. Please hit the subscribe button. Again, doesn't cost you a single penny, it just tells you when one of our new videos comes up, and you can choose whether you wish or don't wish to watch it if it's relevant to you. Now, if you'd like to say a big, big thank you to myself and of course Marika, all we ask you to do is go down to the comment section on YouTube and please write us a comment. There's also a little heart-shaped button there with a $ in the middle, and that's how you could say a big, big thank you. That's how you could gift us as little as $1.99. That's all it costs, or as much as you would like. You can also go through to the Buy Me a Coffee platform if you Google these magic words: Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and Me, and up will come our landing page. You can choose to read a little bit more about us, and of course a comment or two. And we all like to read the comments, don't we? We do indeed. And fingers crossed, you will gift us a virtual coffee to keep us lubricated on the island of love. You can also join us as a Superstar member for only a tenner a month. And we do thank you very, very much indeed. I'd like to thank one or two of the people now. If your name is Sir Peter of the Driscoll, cheers. Thank you very much. Lady Kerry, Lord of the Tony, thank you very, very much indeed. Dayman, thank you very, very much indeed. The list goes on and on and on. And we salute you. Cheers. So, back to buying a property in Cyprus. Many, many people are dreaming of coming to Cyprus. Many, many people want to have their little piece of paradise. As I keep saying, perhaps in Paphos, perhaps in Limassol, perhaps in the Ayia Napa area, perhaps up in the hills, or perhaps on a beachfront. Obviously, only you know what your budget is. But I promise you, there is that perfect property. That property that can make all of your dreams come true, whether you're coming for a fortnight, every 3 or 4 months, whether you're planning to retire to Cyprus. Now is the time to start looking. Now is the time to start to buy that property. because property prices in Cyprus are starting to rise, and there's only one way they're going to go, and that is up. The reasons for that, more and more people are starting to understand that Cyprus is a safe country. Cyprus has very, very low taxes, and the cost of living in Cyprus compared to the UK, Germany, France, Italy, and many, many other countries is much, much lower. So in other words, your income will go that little bit further. And on top of that, you may have noticed behind me that the sky is blue. And I promise you, over those rooftops and those treetops, the sea is blue. And if you haven't noticed by now, Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue. So that must mean one thing: all that's missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe or a bicycle and start pedaling like crazy, because Paphos, Cyprus, Marika and me, we are waiting especially for you. So back to buying a property in Cyprus. How difficult is it to buy a property in Cyprus? It's not difficult at all. There are many, many properties for sale, whether they be apartments, whether they be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms, whether they be on the ground floor, whether they be on the top floor, or somewhere in the middle. Perhaps you fancy a townhouse, perhaps you fancy a little villa on a complex, or perhaps you fancy a villa out in the middle of nowhere with the spectacality of a view indeed. That property, I promise you, is in Cyprus. And Cyprus, as I've told you, is probably the most tax efficient, safest, and pretty much all year round has very, very good weather. And of course, the cost of living is low. So these are many, many reasons why people are moving to Cyprus. And in Cyprus, in my opinion, Paphos is the best. Now, why do I say that? I say that for a few reasons. Paphos is a city, but Paphos is a very, very small city. So traffic jams, I complain about them all the time. But compared to most cities, the traffic jams in Paphos are absolutely zero. When we start to talk about Limassol, Limassol is a very, very cosmopolitan place, but its biggest problem is traffic jams. So perhaps if you're moving from a city in Europe, a city in the UK, Limassol could be the perfect place for you, but I would say it's probably not, because it's a little bit congested. So take a look at Paphos, take a look at Pataras, that's up towards the Iron Apple way. Perhaps go and watch George from Insights, and he will show you in and around that area. Or follow other YouTubers on the little channels around the YouTube network. You've got Paphos Life, you've got the Cyprus Nutters. There's many, many opportunities for you to tune into what's going on in and around Paphos, in and around Limassol, Nicosia, Larnaca and Iron Apple. But to be honest, you need to come to Cyprus and you need to experience each city. If you want, shall we say, a very, very cosmopolitan lifetime and it's quite hectic, Limassol will be the perfect place for you. If you want a more relaxed lifestyle, Pataras or Paphos. And I keep coming back to Paphos because Paphos is the #1 for people to buy properties. It's not Limassol and it's not the Iron Apple, Larnaca area. Paphos won the race a few years ago. And more people are coming to Paphos because they understand, as I've said, the cost of living, not much congestion, the weather and the relaxed lifestyle. And that's what most people want, isn't it? And the property prices, I will say they've gone up a lot from when I came here 15, 16 years ago. But compared to many cities around the world, those property prices are still very, very agreeable, very, very affordable. For example, if you want, let's say, a nice 1-bedroom apartment on a nice complex somewhere in and around Paphos, you're going to be looking at somewhere around 150,000 to 200,000 euros. Now that's a lot of money, but not compared to many other large touristy resorts, shall we say, where you want to enjoy the sunshine and a relaxed lifestyle. If we go to a 2-bedroom townhouse, whether it's detached or whether it's semi-detached or whether it's in a row, you'll be looking at around about 200,000 euros to around about 300,000 euros. Again, a lot of money, but not compared to many other places in the world. Let's say you want to buy a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom detached villa. Let's say it's in Tala. Let's say it's in Paya. Let's say it's around about 10 miles, 15 kilometers from central Paphos. That property, well, obviously they can range a lot, but you will be able to find one for around about 350,000 euros. If your budget is 450, 500, you're going to find a dream home, that's for sure. If you've got more money to spend, let's say 750 to 1 million euros, you are going to buy the house of your dreams. The list goes on and on. Obviously, there are properties for sale at 1.5, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. These are properties for the very, very special ones, the chosen few. But there are many, many properties that are very, very affordable, from around about 200,000 to around about 600,000. And most people fit somewhere in there. And that's the majority of people that I get to speak to. So, the point of this video is to tell you, to warn you and to help you. Wherever you buy a property, make sure that you do your homework, your due diligence, as they say. And the most important thing you can do is get a lawyer, but a lawyer that someone recommended to you that knows them personally, not a lawyer recommended by the property seller or the property developer. Otherwise, it could go very, very wrong. I'm going to say a huge, huge thank you for watching. I truly appreciate that you keep coming back, and I truly appreciate your company, and I hope that you've enjoyed my company. I hope that you've taken my advice on board, and if you want to come and sit and talk face to face, please come and see me at the Marika and Me Bar. We're open from 1 p.m. until late at night. I'm the person all dressed head to toe in blue. Come in, pull up a chair, let's have a drink and let's have a chat, and let's say how we can help you to make your dreams become a reality. All that's left for me to do, I've got a little boy cigar, and of course I've got a lighter. So here we go. Magic words are coming very, very soon indeed. I can promise you that life is good on the island of love. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll join me for the next little adventure. We could be driving around Paphos, or we could be sitting here talking about some more of the pitfalls and giving you help and advice how you can move to Cyprus and how you can start to live the dream. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. But I tell you what, the weather, oh my goodness, it's absolutely amazing.